Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Dance Teacher Pep Talk. I am your host, Amanda, and I am so glad you are here. This is a space for dance teachers and anyone interested in teaching dance who is looking for motivation and fresh ideas. As teachers, we spend our days motivating and giving pep talks to our students, and now this podcast is a pep talk just for you. We hope that it helps to ignite new ideas and even work through some deep dance related thoughts before you head into the studio. Thank you for your support, and now let's get into today's episode. Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 45 of Dance Teacher Pep Talk podcast. I'm so excited for today's episode because it is a topic that I'm super passionate about and have so much heart for, because this is an episode about making the end of the year special for your graduating seniors. And it's easily something that I think we could just kind of go through, because we're getting ready for recital. We're getting our class pieces ready. We're getting this and tied up. We're getting this all together, and our summer programs are coming out. But for the seniors, this is one of the most special times of their lives. And I love trying to make it a special occasion for them. And so I'm going to get into some special ideas in just a minute. But for me, when I think about this, I reflect back on my time, and I truly feel that my graduation from dance was more important to me than my graduation from school. And I mean that more emotionally. Yeah, leaving school, it was whatever. I graduated, okay. But graduating dance was huge. It was a massive change and shift for me. And when I think about it, I think about the emotional weight that I felt with my dance graduation. And I think it's because, with your years of schooling, I went to 4 different buildings, 4 different buildings, had a different teacher every year, different classmates, even though you graduate with the majority of your peers and all that. But in dance, I went to 1 building, well, technically 2, but we moved. But, I was with that 1 studio the whole time. It was home. It was not just a studio. And even for seniors that maybe spend a couple years at your school, or maybe their whole time since they were age 3, there is such an emotional investment and an emotional connection in the studio. I really feel it so much. And so I remember during our graduating show, the music started up. It was the last show, and we were doing our senior dance. We had a senior dance, which I'll talk a little bit more about in the ideas. But the song started. It was I Will Come to You by Hanson. So yes, we danced to Hanson for our senior dance. And it was so special. I will always listen to that song and feel so emotional, even still to this day. And so instantly, my eyes started glazing over. And I don't even know how I saw through that dance, but I just constantly was thinking about the time that I had. And you think about also the dancers that you're leaving, the friends you're graduating with, but also the dancers that you're leaving behind, friends of the seniors. The whole thing is so emotional. Sometimes you have the dancers in the wings watching the senior dance, and everyone's just crying, and it's a lot. But you have to also look at it why is this a lot? It's because there is so much love. There is so much connection. There's so much heart in what they're experiencing. And so I think it is such a beautiful time. And though it is sad, and it is a change, and it is a new chapter, I really love celebrating the seniors. I think it's so important. And I just feel if I can make the end of the year special for them, that is a goal for me. Recital is wonderful. It is our closing of the year for the school, but we just, finding that specialness for the seniors, I think is so important. So I just wanted to share a couple ideas with you about what I've done over the years to help make that a really special time. So things that you can do for your seniors to make it more special is something that I find is really important is a nice handwritten card, acknowledging the senior, the years that they've had, the growth that they've had, maybe sharing special memories in the card, things that you won't forget, and always encouraging them into the next chapter. So segueing all of those memories into knowing that they're about to do incredible things in this world, and something that they can hold on to. They have that handwritten card they can hold on to, they can save, and that, just like I said, the memories, the encouragement and more. I just think it's so nice to do a nice card for them. One of my dance teachers did this now for me, and it is literally one of my most prized CDs, but my dance teacher made me a CD of songs through the years in her class, and like it had special songs on it, like competition songs, recital songs, class warm-up songs. And yeah, so I still have this CD, and it holds so many memories for me. Like I could literally put it in the CD player in my car and it transports me back to the most amazing time of my life, you know? And I just love this so much that I said that when I teach, I'm going to do this for my students too, because it is such a beautiful memento and such a beautiful celebration of the time that you had. So for a lot of my years of teaching, I was able to do CDs for the dancers, but now I do USB flash drives because I know everybody's systems are different. So I figure, okay, if you have a USB, you can hook it up to your computer, you can hook it up to, sometimes your car will have a USB plug. And so I do that because I feel like it's a little bit more current than a CD. So I love doing that. I've also in the past given keychains with a quote from their senior dance song or recital song, and usually, or trying to make it a really meaningful quote. I've also given magnets before, for, you know, their college refrigerators or whatever it is, like just like a nice quote or a memory that they can always reflect on. So like one year we did Your Song, covered by Ellie Goulding, and I made keychains that said how wonderful life is, now you're in the world. And so just a little reminder of that special time, but also something they can carry with them. The senior dance in general, I know a lot of schools will do this. I just think it's so special to have a piece in your show that is geared towards the seniors alone. I think it's really wonderful too if, you know, if they have the opportunity to choreograph it themselves or to collaborate with the choreographer or to have multiple teachers involved in it, because it's a beautiful send-off for the seniors. So I always think that's really nice. Another thing that I think is wonderful, and a lot of schools do these nowadays, is a social media senior week. So featuring each one of your seniors with like photos or video montages, maybe like checking in with them for a bio, or kind of like a what are you up to in next year type of thing, so you can share that with your family, your studio families. But do it, or you could also do like a special insert in your recital program, but something that like really celebrates and honors them and honors their time. But the video montages can be so fun because you can like see their little like first dance pictures to then now their senior year. And I just think that's always so special. And then the families can share that online as well. So, you know, year after year, more graduate. You know, you have a graduating year every year, and it is the most special year for them. It really, really is. And so just keep remembering to hold sight of that when, you know, when we're caught up in the busyness of this season, because it is easy to look over everything as a whole. You know, you're organizing everything, we're doing everything, we're planning, we're doing choreography for our classes, we're editing music, we're doing this, we're getting our costumes ready. But it's so important to really make the seniors feel as important as they are, to give them the time and acknowledgement that is so needed of their time and years. And, you know, whether it's send-offs at your recitals or your showcases, you know, just to speak on what they brought to the walls of your space, because it is so much more too than just the accolades that they receive, but maybe even too like their character traits, you know, the things that we're going to miss the most, like what energy did they bring to the classroom every year, and what is it that is going to be missed, you know, and a lot of the times it's that specific energy. So speaking on that, I think is so special. Another thing that I really like to do too is in my recital pieces, I love to create vignette moments for the seniors whenever I can. So like if I have seniors in a class, I know that at some point each one of them is going to have a moment, or maybe group together. You know, sometimes I've had graduating classes of seniors that 11 or 12 kids. I've had graduating classes of seniors with 2 kids. So when we're doing this, you know, making it feasible to, like, if we're trying to give vignettes to all of them, how does that work? And, but that's another beautiful idea to celebrate them as well. So, you know, I hope these ideas maybe spark some inspiration for you, and just to remind you, because, you know, I'm 34 right now, and, you know, graduation was a while ago, but it doesn't feel that long ago. And no matter what age you are, I think you could probably like say the same thing, looking back, that high school graduation doesn't feel that far. And it feels like a really important time. To me, high school graduation was more impactful than college graduation. I think there was just like a lot more time invested, a lot more emotion invested. You grow. That is where you grow from being a child to an adult, and then you're off in the adult world for college or wherever you choose to go, whether you go to college or not. And so I do feel that it's definitely more emotional of a time. And as I mentioned before, for our dancers, especially those that have been in our studios for a long time, they grew up there. They really did. And the other thing too about the studio versus the school space is even on breaks, like they're just sitting up there, they're having dinner, they're doing their homework. It's a place for them to be living in a way, and then they go home and they eat dinner and go to bed or whatever it is. So they are spending so much time, so much connected time in these buildings, and it's such a special time. And I hope that this episode helps us to think about being there, supporting them, raising them up, and making the most special moments for the seniors this year and any year. And so heading into your end of the year shows, I hope that some of these ideas helped you to think about ways that we can celebrate our seniors. And as I said, it's something I'm really passionate about. I think just having had such an emotional graduation myself, I will always feel that connection to the seniors because I can completely relate to what they are going through. So many people are like, can't wait to get out of school. Yeah. And then it's like, no one really says that about dance. Like maybe they're like, can't wait to get out of the schedule and have some freedom. But I think a lot of the time, dance is really, really hard to leave. And another beautiful thing is when the seniors come back too, always keeping that door open. Come to summer classes, come to open classes, because it's beautiful to see them. And it's also so special for the dancers that were left behind to get to see them again too, and to work with them and to dance with them. So I hope that today's episode gave you some great ideas, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week ahead. If you feel inspired by today's episode, I'd love it if you'd share it with a friend or colleague. And don't forget to follow us on our Instagram page at Dance Teacher Pep Talk for more tips and info and inspiration on the week to week. And if you feel called to rate or review the show on the podcast platform that you listen to, I'd so appreciate that because it helps the podcast to be seen by even more dance educators and wanting to be dance educators. So thank you all so very much. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will talk with you soon.